This is page 102, question number 21. It asks us to find the derivative of f of x equals 1 over x minus 1. And it tells us to use the limit definition of derivative to find that derivative, which in my class, that's the only way you've learned how to do it thus far. So the limit definition of derivative says that the limit as h goes to 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h is defined as the same thing as f prime of x. So f of x plus h, I'm going to go to f of x and replace the x with x plus h. So it would be 1 over x plus h minus 1. And then I want to subtract f of x. All divided by h. And again, as h goes to 0. There's lots of different ways you could simplify this. You could get least common denominator between these two. And then work through it that way. The way that I like to do it is to take the least common multiple, which would be your least common denominator, and multiply the top by that. So I need to multiply it by this. I also need to multiply it by x minus 1. If I'm going to multiply the top by that, I have to multiply the bottom by that as well. And then what we're doing is we're foiling. We're taking this whole thing here and, well, distributing, not foiling, sorry, and multiplying it by this. So if I multiply this by that guy, these cancel. So I'm just left with x minus 1. Then I've got minus. And then I'm taking this guy and I'm multiplying it by this guy right here. Well, if I have this times this, I've got one of these on top and one of these on the bottom. This time these cancel and I'm left with this. Now remember, I'm subtracting this whole thing. So to show that you're subtracting the whole thing, we want to put it in parentheses. On the bottom, we are not going to FOIL this. We're not going to distribute this h. We're not doing any of that. We're just going to leave it as it's written. H times x plus h minus 1 times x minus 1. Distribute this minus sign here. And then x minus x cancels. Positive 1 minus 1 cancels. And now at this point, h divided by h cancels. Don't forget about this minus sign here, though. So those canceled, so I've got 1, but it's really negative 1. So on the top, I've got a negative 1. Now we can plug in 0 for our h. So on the top, I've got negative 1. On the bottom, I've got x plus 0 minus 1. X minus 1 times x minus 1, which is x minus 1 squared. And that's our answer.